Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Murdered Soul Suspect. I am standing in the exact same spot where we left off last time. We were introduced to our main protagonist, Ronan here, who was thrown out of a window, shot, and killed. We are now a ghost, and we are going in pursuit of our murderer. After getting a bit of tutorial here, we can head back through the fence that we came through, and we can enter the town. And this is going to bring us back to our body.
Seeing your own body lying on the street. It's like looking in a mirror you don't want to see but can't turn away from. And that's when you realize you no longer know which one's real and which is the reflection.
Yeah, great idea, Baxter. Tamper with the evidence.
Backup? Who needs backup? You shouldn't have tried to be one of us. Man, you were one dumb son of a bitch. Sir?
Hey, Baxter, hey! Hey, just get back to taking them statements. Come on.
Yeah, I'm the stupid one.
Look, this is not your scene, Lieutenant.
I think he deserved that, to be fair.
Pay your respects and move on, please.
Yeah. Maybe it's not my scene. But it is my case. Tomorrow it'll be my case. And the next day. Until we catch him. You do well to remember that, Sergeant.
Look, I'm just following Captain's orders here. You know the procedure when a family member is... Yeah, well... Take all the time you need, LT.
I lost count of the times I wished you were dead. You do me a favor, con man. Tell Julie I miss her.
She knows, Rex. She knows. I need to find my killer's trail before it goes cold.
Alright, so we're going to get a bit of a tutorial into the investigating part of this game.
I need to get my eyes on Stewart's notepad, see what they've learned.
So did you see the man in the hood?
Yes. I saw him. He killed that man in the street.
Our city. Look at all these people. He's got family.
It'd be nice to know what they're talking about. I gotta see if they found any leads that I don't already know about.
So it gives us a few clues as to where to look. I feel quite bad that our brother-in-law had to see our dead body. That's gotta be pretty traumatizing. We have some crime scene markers around the scene, and we can look at these as well as looking at our own corpse here. And every time you look at something, you'll get a bit of a blue glow over top of the clue as to what it is that you've looked at, which is quite helpful when you're trying to gather all of the clues. You see that there's the number of clues we need to collect on the bottom left corner. So the game is pretty good about holding your hand a little bit. Usually clues are fairly obvious, such as these markers. People you can possess to be able to do different things with. So we already have 5 out of the 8 clues. We got a clue that we needed to look at his notepad. And by looking at his notepad, we can find that the only weapons found at the scene belonged to Ronan. which is the most relevant information for this case. He killed me with my own gun because he didn't have a weapon of his own. And if you are struggling or you guess the wrong clue, there are literally no repercussions to that. You don't have like a 3 strikes and you're out system and you have to restart the investigation. There's no achievements or trophies related to getting all of the investigations right on the first try, like in LA Noire, for example. So the game is really quite easy in that respect, where you don't particularly have to know everything. So next we're going to come over to Baxter and this police officer here, and we're going to eavesdrop on their conversation for our 7th clue.
What a night, huh, Robinson?
Yeah.
Crazy. Ronan, unbelievable.
I don't get it. What was he even doing here?
Asking for it. A witness called in saying he saw the Bell Killer enter a building. Ronan responds, disregards orders for backup. Next thing you know, the Bell Killer tried to see if he could make him sprout angel wings. And then bam, 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 bam. 7 to the chest. Point blank.
You really have no idea when to quit, do you, Baxter?
Ever take a look at those tattoos of his? All that gangland prison crap? He was more criminal than cop. Yeah, he lived like a thief, he'd die like a thief.
He was still a badge, dickhead.
It seems like most people have warmed up to the fact that Ronan turned his life around and became a cop, but Baxter in particular seems to have a bit of a problem with us. And then finally, for our very last clue, you're going to want to possess this police officer talking to this woman,
Why am I even here thinking about this? I should just go home.
and then hop over to her body if you're having troubles possessing her from the street, and you can influence her. And you're going to need to select the right clue to make her give up a little bit more information. And the clue that you're looking for, I do believe, is the Bell Killer clue, when we heard the 2 police officers talking about the Bell Killer.
Yeah, I saw it. That man in the hood. Outside. Looking up at the top apartment on the 4th floor, I think.
And that will give us all of our clues. Anytime you're in a scene like that and you have a green highlight around the clue, you'll know that you selected the right one. But again, there are no repercussions if you get it wrong on your first try. You just keep guessing until you get the right one.
The killer came here for a reason. But what was it? The apartment up there must have some clues. Except that's my way in. That's closed. Fantastic. Here's my chance. I just need to follow Stewart into the building.
So obviously we're going to want to have a look at the 4th floor apartment that we were thrown from. And Stewart has left the door open for us. And we can now go into the apartments, which is our second area of the game.
Hey, Sarge. 1019. Please return to the scene.
10-4.
Alright, so this is the first part of the game where we can really do some exploration. There's a lot of collectibles in each new area that we go to. I should note as well that there is only one area in this entire game that is missable, meaning that if you don't get the collectibles on your first time there, you're not able to return a second time to get everything. So the apartments here are actually an area that you can return to if you've missed anything, but it's all fairly straightforward. You can see there's a lot of walls that we can walk through here. But because the front door has closed, we are now stuck here until we can find another way out. So we're going to start by actually running forward, straight forward into this pool room, and we're going to reveal this shaking object. And this area's collectible. Each area usually has an object that will turn into a collectible kind of story. If you collect all 6 pieces of that, it will tell a story. If you walk through this wall, you can see that there's a ghost lady here, and we can talk to her.
If I can just find it, then at least I'll know what happened.
You look lost.
What's lost is my body. I know I got killed right here, and I know it sounds crazy, but I'd feel a lot better if I knew where my body was. Are you a detective or something? You might be my only hope.
Yeah, I'm a detective. Any idea who did it? That might lead us to your body.
I know they were old people, and I know they lived in this apartment building. Other than that, everything is hazy. But I was doing a lot of drugs at the time.
Sounds like you do need a detective. I'll see what I can find out from any older residents of the building.
Alright, so this is a bit of a side quest. You're gonna come across a lot of ghosts in the game that need your help crossing over. Like Ronan, they're stuck here because they have some unrelated problem to yours, a problem of their own that they need solved before they can cross over. And we're usually able to help them in some way. There's also a second water cooler in this room. And if we pass straight through the wall, we can come out into the hallway. Now this is just coming out from this first area here. Directly in front of us there is a collectible, and as you can see, but just before I collect this, collectibles are very, very easy to find because they glow a bright yellow, usually, and it will give you a good indication as to where to find these and to pick them up.
I can probably hear you talking through the ceiling.
Now there's an apartment here, 1A, and if we go through this wall, this is the apartment that we need to investigate for the murdered girl. We have 5 clues in here. There's 1 clue on the table by the front door. There's a note. If you go to the kitchen table, you can reveal another note. Break-in at the quarry, a newspaper clipping. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to possess the man sitting on the couch.
You get a better view of the street on TV.
And I think we need to influence him. And let's try using the clue about the murder to jog his memory.
That girl collapsed like paper when Grace hit her. I still can't believe she died. It happened so fast. I've never seen Grace so crazy before. It must have been the lack of sleep. Thank God it's all over. I can finally watch TV in peace.
So we'll get his sort of confession by reading his mind, and then we can read his wife's mind as well. If we influence her, I do believe it's either going to be the clue about the murder or the old man's secret. Let's try the murder first.
Finally, some peace and quiet. All her parties. How can anyone sleep through music blasting like that? I think she was on drugs. Walter was so tired he could barely stay awake for the 5 miles it took to drive to Smithwick Quarry. I couldn't believe he was able to find a pair of lock cutters that late at night. At least the music has stopped. Now we can finally sleep.
And our last clue is in the closet. There's an object in here that we can reveal, and it turns out to be the equipment that they used to bury her body, which, by the way, is not very smart, keeping evidence in your apartment. And in order to piece together the murder, we need to put clues together that fit. So we're gonna put the couple's confession together. The man and the woman with the murder.
Looks like Grace couldn't take the girls partying anymore, so she killed her and roped her husband into helping dump the body at Smithwick Quarry. I should get back and let her know.
So that's it for that. We just have to go back and tell her, and hopefully that gives her enough peace so that she can cross over. And there isn't really much else on the first floor, so I think I'm going to do that, and then we're going to end things off before moving on to the second, third, and fourth floor of the apartment. We'll kind of do it in chunks. We'll move slowly.
Turns out, the reason you can't find your body is because it's not in the building. It's at Smithwick Quarry, about 5 miles out of town.
Oh. Well, why'd they do it?
Your parties were keeping them awake at night. They finally got too tired and snapped.
I thought they were just being unreasonable. I didn't know they would do this. Thanks for your help. You have no idea how big a relief it is just knowing.
No problem.
You know, I never really liked cops. And they were always giving me shit, telling me how I was messing up my life. We never saw eye to eye on things. But you really came through for me. Probably should have listened to what they were trying to tell me. Maybe then things wouldn't have ended up like this. Thanks again.
So we can help her, and you can see that she's going to cross over that bridge and disappear. Helping her will get you an achievement, and helping every single ghost in this game, from what I remember, every single time you help a ghost in trouble, you will get an achievement for that. So it is worth doing. Like I said, they're usually fairly straightforward, very, very close by to where the ghost actually is, and the ghosts are usually always kind of in your way, so it's not like you have to go out of your way to help these people. And those are all of the collectibles on the first floor of the apartment building. So next time we will continue on in our exploration. We'll go further up the floors of the apartment, making our way up to the fourth floor, collecting things along the way, and then hopefully getting to our crime scene of where we were pushed out the window. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that I will see you next time.